Hello, hello. Welcome to your Productivity Pulse. And today we have a special guest. We have Carrie Bokser with us. She is a what would be the best way to describe you?
Mortgage broker, mortgage
Mortgage
advisor.
Mortgage
Yeah,
advisor. So she helps people find the right mix of being able to get the right financing in place so that they can make that next part of their dream come true, and so that they can spend more time doing all the things that they love to do. And a few weeks ago, Carrie and I met at a networking event, and I was so excited because there was something that really sparked between the two of us. And I thought, oh, I really want this woman to come in because she has a really great story to tell about how she shifted from one part of her career into another and the reason why. And I'd love to bring you in right now, Carrie, to tell us the story and to see how it can help other people find their way.
absolutely. And thank you for the warm introduction. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, so I've been in the finance world for about 13 years now, and I was at a bank, and then I moved into worked for a couple of investment advisors at a wealth management firm. And in that environment, you're structured. You're structured your time, and you kind of your time is their time for 8 hours a day, and you structure your life around that. And from that, we were entering COVID, and during that COVID, I realized I kind of wanted some of my time back, and it really struck me about how limited I was. Um, the limitations of just being with my family and being there to support my daughter and just being around for that short period of time. As parents, we all know that they grow so fast and then they're gone. And I had already lost such a big chunk of that, not being there for school things and just being present. So we, as a family, decided I would make a shift, and I decided to leave and not knowing where I was going to go. I originally was going to take 6 months off and find a new passion, but I already had a lot of passions, and I love working with people. I love working with numbers, and of course, as soon as I made the decision to leave, another door opened almost immediately, and it was into mortgage brokering. So I thought, you know what, let's give it a go. It kind of was checking all the boxes. So now that's what I've been doing for the last 4 or 5 years, and it's been wonderful but challenging because it's a complete different mind shift from when you're in an office structure, and your time is decided by other people. You now have your own time, and what I found is, yeah, having all this time is beautiful. However, business also can eat up a lot of that time. So sometimes I don't get that extra time, but it's given me the opportunity to be more present with my family and be there for my daughter, which has been that is worth more than money and time itself. So, yeah, so here I am 4 or 5 years later in the lending space, and I really do love it. I get to bring the calm amongst a stressful journey for people. I find a lot of people find mortgages, asking questions about finances intimidating. It's a scary thing, and I like to try and take the scary out of it and just bring calm and educate people along the way as well. Because I really truly believe that if there's education, knowledge is power. It builds confidence as well. So I work with everybody I work with. I try and give at least pieces of my brain to them and make sure they're confident and feel good and less stressed, because shopping for real estate, it's a huge purchase. Some people are getting mortgages that are 500,000, it could be 1.7 million. That can be very stressful. So if I can take any aspect out of that to be not stressful so they can enjoy that
Yeah.
process, that's why I'm here, and I love it.
That's awesome. I just want to circle back to that transition period. So when you went from, from having your time structured by someone else, right, and then you went
Yes.
into starting your own business as an entrepreneur, and and you said that there was, a little bit of transitionary challenges. What would you say are some of the biggest things around trying to organize your time? Like, did you have to change up calendars? Did you have to try to time blocking?
All of
Like,
it.
what did you try? What worked?
All of it. Yeah, all of it. So I know, in an office setting, it's actually kind of easier to structure your time because you do time block and you know I guess, the flow of your environment. Now, when you become a business, I tried to take that with me. I was like, this is great. So I tried time blocking and I really tried hard for a good year. It just wasn't working. I was finding I was always shifting everything. So I just tried to take one thing I do, I have an agenda and I write everything down. I'm still paper. But I like it because yeah, I like marking things off. But trying to take those systems and move them into the business world didn't really work. So what done now is just chunk it out by week. What do I need to get done in this week? And then I fit it in. So I found that was way better than trying to time block my days. Um, Even client focused times and all of that, I can't say Tuesday and Thursdays clients. It's not working. It doesn't work for me. And then my daughter's schedule gets thrown in there as well. So the only thing I have time blocked are family things that's non-negotiable. My workout times, that's non-negotiable, and then everything else just seems to fall into place. So what that does with my time management, sometimes I'm working maybe an 8-hour day. I could be working a 12-hour day, and that's okay. I'm okay with that because then there's days where I'm like, I can have this day free. And it could be the middle of the week and go get all my stuff done, and no one else is getting their stuff done. So yeah, the transition actually was really sticky. It was a bumpy road, probably for 2 years. I'm also learning all these new systems and creating my own systems where I had it was just implemented and you just kind of fell into their systems. Not the case on this side of things. So it was really just kind of developing as I went. I just flew by the seat of my pants. You really have to because
Yeah.
that's the way my world
Yeah.
works. And yeah, it's interesting. It's quite interesting when you go from structure to entrepreneurship because it's completely different. So yeah, I took some things with me, but others I just develop along the way.
Now, when you talked about systems, like developing systems, are you talking about just your procedures, like your step by step of what you do in order to get something done within the time that you're working?
Everything. I think like I have my own CRM, which is provided to me by my brokerage, but utilizing it the way I need to utilize it, not how maybe it was meant to. You kind of just pick and choose what aspect work for you, and do things with that. Processes as well.
Oh, yeah.
Just
I was just going to say, if you hear that, that is Lexi, our puppy, our boxer puppy, who is who has decided to vocalize and express their need for some time some time available on our podcast today.
she has her own time blocking and sometimes it doesn't always work with our
Yeah.
schedule. Yeah, but systems and processes definitely because they used to be really detailed and now I streamline them because I think when you learn anything you learn in the beginning it's overwhelming and you want to mark down every single thing you need to do, which can waste a lot of time. So I feel like over the years you just keep looking at those processes, like my client journey or how I want to send out emails or what I want in those emails. It's all changed all the time. And I think as a business owner, it's important to look at things every 6 to 12 months and streamline it. It does make you more efficient, and it gives you back time. Also, with that is I learned that simple thing like cleaning the house, that was something that could weigh on my mind because I was running out of time. So it's okay to hire people to come in and do that. That gives you back time. So I've also looked at what around my home can help me in my business. If I've got this taken care of and I don't need to worry about it, let's do that because it's worth the money. It gives me more time over in family zone and as in business zone. So I've been, yeah, for the last 4 years, really streamlining everything, not just business, but our life and how it flows.
So I love that you kind of segued over into like actually working from home, so that the change was made
Mhm.
from working in the alternate environment. Now you're working from home. Now you're having to deal with real life things, being a parent at home while you're trying to work. Now,
Yes.
how old is your daughter?
14.
Okay.
Yeah,
14.
and I decided to throw in a high energy breed dog. We also have another dog as well. And yeah, it throws in all kinds of challenges. Absolutely, because I could be in the middle of something and then one of them goes off and needs something or um Yeah, and just being aware too to let my daughter know, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna be on a call for the next hour or so, because otherwise she'll just come in and all of a sudden she's on Zoom too."
Yes, we,
You
we've
know?
we've all had those ones happen. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Eh,
What do you
yeah.
think? So what do you think when you're making the transition? For your daughter, has she reflected back to you any positives of what you've been able to, as far as your relationship with her and the more time that you've been able to have with her?
I don't think not yet. She's only 14. So I think teenagers are really in their own world, which is totally fine. That's where they're supposed to be. But she has started realizing to help around, that I need help too and I need support because what am I? It's great that I'm home and I can drive you everywhere and assist you and be there for you when you need me, but then I need you as well. So we're at this great age where she's always been very helpful. We've always instilled that from a young age, but now she's starting to ask, "Hey, is there any way I can help you right now?" And I know I can send her a quick text and say, "Hey, can you let those dogs out? I think they have to go." And yeah, she'll go do it. Um, so I think the appreciation will come later, maybe when she's older and she realizes, wow, that was a big job. My mom was there all the time, maybe sometimes too much, but it's what a gift to have, right? Because I know a lot of parents aren't able to do that. Um, so yeah, yeah, and I think too, my husband's also in an industry where sometimes he's got to work late. Sometimes we're on vacation and we're both working a bit. Um, but she gives us space for that. I don't think she knows anything
Yeah.
different.
And that's really one of
Yeah.
the pieces of entrepreneurship is that
Hmm.
there are times when you can block off time and that's your time and then something happens. and, and
Yeah, it
it
does.
does. And so, I
Yeah.
think that I love that you said that, that your daughter really doesn't know any different. I mean, the same with my son. Like he's, my husband and I are both, we both own our business together. And so, we can be on holiday and all of a sudden a situation comes and he'll say like, "Dad, where's mom?" And he's like, "Oh, she's got an emergency." I remember one time
Yeah.
I had a client in an emergency that came up and I was in the airport at LAX and I went off to a little corner and I'm on my cell phone, just
Yeah.
managing the situation and then my son's like, "Oh, is everything okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, everything is good now." And training them up to understand that in this industry that time isn't always the same as it is for somebody who works on a punch clock. Um,
Exactly, and I think that the world is changing that way anyways, where, there's so many entrepreneurs that I feel like the office space is shifting to at home. A lot more people want to go after their own passions, so it is something our kids are growing up with. I mean, there's been so many times where she'll jump in the car and I go, like, put my finger over, and she knows I'm on the phone,
Oh,
and
for
and I
for
I
a moment, Carrie just put her finger over her mouth. So people who don't see this, actually, she just put her finger up to her lips.
yeah, just to say
Yeah.
shh, like I'm just on a call, but I don't do this part. But she knows, so we kind of have our own little sign language, and yeah, because I could be driving and just answering questions to clients or lenders or whomever I'm speaking with, and I have earbuds in, so my daughter's not hearing any
Yeah.
sensitive details. But yeah, I've even had to pull over sometimes. I'm like, I've got to take this, or we're driving somewhere and I'm on my laptop working in the vehicle. Um, and we're all just used to it now. My husband and I joke, it could be 8 o'clock at night, and he'd be like, "It's done work time." And I'm like, "Not quite yet. I'll see you at 8:30." you know?
Well,
Yeah.
I love this because this interview took a little bit of a different path than I initially thought, which is
Mhm.
what I love. This is why I love doing these. Is that really we're talking about how we use our time as entrepreneurs and how our children respond to it, and training them properly will understand so that they understand that that the time that you are with them is intentional time. It is time that you're present right in
Absolutely.
that moment and
Yeah.
that you are like you're dialed in with them and then you have to do the other work, right? So it's
And I think that's an important piece to mention, because we talk about pulling over the side of the road or doing that. I intentionally will put my devices away or at certain time, like 7 o'clock. Okay, I'm done. So then I'm just focused. Or if one of my family members comes in and says, "Do you have a moment?" Like, yes, I do. Let me just shut this down so I'm fully present for it, because technology has really tried to take over our lives if we allow it to, and we don't have to. I still remember back in the day when you went to work, you came home, and that was it because nobody could get a hold of you. You didn't have cell phones. But now in this day and age, you can be reached 24/7. But I think it's really important to, as part of keep as a timekeeper, we all are timekeepers of our own time. You can put your phone on airplane mode for an hour a day and get back to your family. So we still make it important at dinner table. We don't have phones. At restaurants, all phones are put away. Certain times we just don't have our devices because we do need to be present at the end of the
I
day.
love it. And I think that that is a perfect way for us to start wrapping up our interview today. I love that idea of actually putting our phones on airplane mode for an hour and really focusing on our family. And, there was I think it was episode 5 that I spoke about, about being a productive family, and that productivity comes in us being able to spend time together. And what a perfect way to be able to do that with being able to actively put our phones on airplane mode, which is easy, doesn't cost anything, and it actually gives
Oh,
back to you. So I've got 2 questions as we're wrapping up today. Number one, do
okay.
you recall your very first timepiece, your watch? Like what kind of timepiece did you have?
Great question. I believe it would have been a watch. I didn't wear them too much, but yeah, it would have been a watch
Do you
for
remember
sure.
anything about it?
Mm, I remember my first favorite one. It was shiny and I loved it because it was sparkly and I didn't have anything like that. That was just so pretty. And my husband had given it to me and I still have it. Um, but yeah, I was like, I just felt, yeah, so fancy.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And wrapping up our last question of the day, if you were able to go back to your 14-year-old self, 18-year-old self, however far back we can remember, and you wanted to give your daughter, actually, let's go to your daughter. You're able to give your daughter a piece of advice about how she manages her time. What would you tell her?
Mm. Well, I've actually just told her this recently. So I said, put down your device because we do have time limits on it. However, I just said, you can put it down. Go read a book. I want you to find a couple items that are not technology related and give yourself that and focus on that. So I think variety, having some like hobbies and habits that don't have to deal with devices. That's what I'd say.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Carrie, thank you so much
you're
for
so
being here
welcome.
today and for sharing some different ideas, some things from your history, from your present, and things that will help to move people into their future in how they can manage and use their time better. And so thank you. And if you're wanting any information about Carrie and her awesome work as a mortgage analyst and being able to help people, all of her information will be available in the show notes today. Thank you again, Carrie.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Your Productivity Pulse. You're not alone in this. We're all learning how to navigate our time in a way that actually supports our lives. If you want a simple place to start, grab the free Time Disruptor checklist in the show notes and join the community. Let's start noticing what's getting in the way so we can begin to make the shift. Remember, intention plus accountability equals productivity. Until next time, keep listening to your pulse.